Thank you so much for volunteering for the Walk 10 Lupus Now event. This video is going to be a quick tutorial on check-in process. Check-in process is so important that we all know what we're doing, so we will email you some directions, and also we wanted to go quickly over how to check someone in the day of the walk. There are two ways to register for the walk. One, you can register ahead of time by going to lupusgreaterohio.org and filling out the Conterra form. Or participants can register the day of the walk by going to registration, and then they'll be going to check-in to come visit you. So when you have individuals come approach you, they've either registered online or they're handing in a piece of paper to you. So we will actually be arranging all the volunteers at check-in. There's no denomination, there's no incentive prize levels specific to where you're sitting. We're just taking in anyone that comes to walk up to us. That would make sense to people in the past that have done this. So it's kind of open check-in and registration. People are walking up to you and turning in donations. So just an FYI on some past volunteers, we are taking in anyone that may be participating at the walk. Well, these are our registration bags this year. On the outside of the bag is a list of materials that you'll have inside your bag. You will have an envelope. One of the tools, you're all familiar with the envelope, a list of incentive prizes, schedule, and actually the tutorial on how to check someone in is on here. And then your tally form. We want to be sure that you sign the bottom of this tally form when you're done with check-in. We will have 100 purple bands. 100 purple bands in your bag. Great. There's no pink bands in your bag at all this year, so there are only purple bands. The way that you get a purple band is if you have registered and paid the $20 minimum for adults or $5 for children ages 2 to 10. 100 purple bands. We're going to slip in just a few extra registration forms in case someone forgot to fill it out. Really, they should be getting these registration forms at registration and turning them into you. But we'll slip in a couple just in case you need them. Some pens, highlighters, those are in the zipper part of the bag. Pens and highlighters. And then, of course, your name tag. Please be sure to put your name tag on the morning of the walk. So, the morning of the walk, you'll all be given this registration form. The way that you've gotten onto this registration form is you've registered online. So these are all the people that have already filled out registration, and their money will be on their list on how much they raised online. So it's super easy. When you have a participant come up to you, you're going to greet them, of course, and thank them for being at the walk. And you're going to ask them if they've registered online. If they've registered online, they'll be on your form. If not, they'll be turning in a piece of paper with you that have signed the waiver. That's the most important part on these registration forms, is that they've signed a waiver. It helps with liability issues, and we do take pictures at the walk. So the list will be arranged alphabetically. Go ahead and find that participant, highlight them off your sheet, and look to see the total amount online that they fundraise, and kindly ask them, are you turning in any donations in today? If they're turning in donations, they'll hand you checks in cash, and you go ahead and write that in the amount turned in. You will then add up their total and fill in the total. And there is also a note column if you have any notes that you need to report to me after the walk. And everyone that registers for the walk and turns in money will get a purple band. Please help them put that purple band on. It helps make sure that they've all registered, and that way they don't pass it on or give it to someone else. Do help them to put on these purple bands. Another thing that I suggest doing is to actually keep your purple bands in your bag. The walk morning is there's a lot of people coming at you, and it's a good way to secure that you are the only one taking bands from your bag. So do try to keep the purple bands inside your bag. Once you have purple band them and check them in, everyone gets decoder glasses this year. We are having a fun and interactive walk. So you'll be giving everyone that registers the $20 minimum and above those decoder glasses, and also children ages 2 to 10. if they have a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, a blanket or a jacket. Those incentive prizes will still be behind you, and you will have an incentive prize runner to help you with getting the proper sizes to hand up to your donor. Please do not leave the station. Please do not bring drinks or anything that might spill and get your papers wet or the money turned in wet. We do ask that try to use the restroom before you sit down. You're really only there for an hour and a half. In case of an emergency, please only leave your bag with a staff member or board member, and I will identify who those people are the morning of the walk. Really, the walk is a fun day. It's a day of hope, and I hope that this tutorial just kind of gives you a feel of what you'll be doing. We do expect about 2,000 people to come out and visit us at Progressive Field, and we can't thank our donors enough. Our walkers, our participants, the patients, and the family coming out are really the heart of what makes this walk all come together. You will get a lot of people, they may be confused. If you have any questions or don't know how to answer their questions, just raise your hand and I'll come over, or a staff or board member will come over to help you. You're never alone at registration. Just remember that. There's always someone to back you up. And registration does start promptly at 9 o'clock. And I ask that if you are at registration, you please come to your seat, registration check-in. You please come to your seat starting at 8:45. We start winding down to get all the registration people in order. So check-ins, the gates open, all starts at 9 o'clock, and we'll get the show on the road. I think that's all I have to tell you today. If I haven't already said thank you, thank you, thank you. We're so appreciative of you volunteering. You truly help the organization, and you're helping us fight the mission. So thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you at the walk. Have a good one.